First, Harry Maguire scored in stoppage time to salvage a 3-3 draw for Manchester United on a dramatic night in Porto, which saw Bruno Fernandes sent off for the second match in a row. Well, United at one point were cruising. They were 2-0 up after goals from Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Højlund inside 20 minutes. But Pepe and Samuel Omorodion drew Porto level before half-time. Omorodion then scored again after the break to make it 3-2 to the home side. Things got worse for United when captain Fernandes was shown a second yellow card for a dangerously high tackle. But in the first of 3 minutes of stoppage time, substitute Maguire equalised for United with a header and rescue a valuable point for Erik ten Hag. It's their second in this Europa League phase. Well, Rob Enshaw was watching for us here in the studio. What a roller coaster of a game. And I can imagine what relief for Erik ten Hag after this man between us, Harry Maguire, scored that equaliser. Does it feel like a point gained or does it feel like 2 dropped for United?
It's a weird feeling that both feelings.
It is, isn't it?
It's both feelings because you're 2-0 up first half, cruising, and it looked as if Porto were struggling, shell-shocked. Bang, all of a sudden, I think in 6 minutes, it's 2-2. Manchester United are rocked. And then they're 3-2 down, and then it's a man sent off. It looked over, to be honest with you. I think Porto would feel really devastated because they had 2 one-on-ones in the second half, and they could have finished it. And it's ended up 3-3. Harry Maguire with the saviour. So I mean, well done, Manchester United, first of all, because Porto difficult, good team. You end up with 3-3, and I think a sigh of relief, I think, is the feeling in the dressing room now, because they are happy with the point, because it was about not losing, first of all. The way the game went, they've ended up not losing.
Yeah, and significant moment for Harry Maguire, given he's not had the best of days, left out of the England squad.
A horrible day. Yeah, horrible day for him. And you could see on his face the disappointment, and he didn't even smile when he scored, which I think you'd be devastated. You left out the England squad, devastated. He comes on and he's now the saviour for Manchester United. So well done for him. Great goal, great header. 3-3. I mean, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. I was exhausted watching you talk about it. But serious point about Erik ten Hag. I mean, you just fear what would have happened if they'd lost this game and his captain sent off for a second match in a row. Where does this leave him now with that huge game at Villa Park on Super Sunday coming up?
It makes the Villa game even bigger, because I think most people would have expected a Manchester United loss today. So I think this is a big point, and it's actually a good step forward. It's way better than Tottenham, the Tottenham game, and they weren't outplayed completely. They showed signs of who they are as Manchester United. The weird thing is they could end up with winning at Villa, and now it's 4 points from the last 2 games, and everything is brilliant. But listen, they are capable of doing excellent winning games, but tonight they're capable of conceding goals, and they struggled defensively.
Yeah,
tonight.
They really did. Yeah. Rob, thank you so much for your company this evening. Really appreciate it. Well, talking about actually conceding goals, this is a truly damning statistic for Manchester United. This was the 24th time that they've conceded 3 or more goals in a single game under Erik ten Hag since he took over at Old Trafford in 2022. That is more than any other Premier League time in that period. Incredible stat. This is Manchester United we're talking about. OK. Well, Rangers had won 4 games on the spin without conceding a single goal, welcomed Lyon to Ibrox. Lyon, who's had a very indifferent start to the season in Ligue 1, but ended up losing by 4-1. A teenager, Malik Fofana, opened the scoring for the French side. Tom Lawrence equalised, but really that was as good as it got for Rangers. Fofana scored again. 2 goals for former Arsenal striker Alexandre Lacazette. Rangers outclassed on the night, having begun this Europa League phase with a 2-0 win at Malmo. Let's speak to Chris Boyd, who's watching this one for us. Chris, were Rangers that bad? Were Lyon that good? What was your assessment?
Yeah, both that. Obviously, Czerny had an opportunity right before Lyon scored right at the start to put Rangers up, but missed it inside the 6-yard box and smashed it over the bar, leaning back. But from that moment on, it was all Lyon. Fofana, as you say there, Cherki and Lacazette absolutely ripped Rangers apart this evening. The front three were outstanding. Struggled to deal with them, the pace, the trickery, the finishing. They had everything. That front line, obviously. Fofana gets the first one, and then Lawrence. Dessers should probably have scored. They came back off the goalkeeper. Lawrence puts it in the back of the net, and Rangers get back into it. Then at this level, Conor Barron, it was a no-look pass. It gets caught out, and Fofana was onto it. Does really well. Gets into the box, and it's a little cut back for Lacazette, who passes it into the back of the net. Then the third goal was a special strike. I would imagine Philip Clement will probably moan about the offside. The referee's in the line of blocking whenever the ball leaves the attacker's foot, and it does look as if he's offside. But take nothing away from the finish. It is an unbelievable strike from Lacazette, giving Butland absolutely no chance. And then Cherki down the right-hand side fired a ball across, and Fofana was coming in at the back post, to smash it in the back of the net for 4. To be honest, David, it was 4. It could have been a lot more for Lyon. They were outstanding tonight. You've got to say, this week, we've got to give, Hearts, team from the capital, credit.
Yeah.
The only Scottish team to go and get the victory in Europe. Fantastic performance for them, and Minsk come back with the 3 points. It's hard to believe Rangers have lost 4-1 this evening, and it's not even the worst result for a Scottish team in Europe this week. Unbelievable.
Had to go there. Very
I've still got a laugh.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, listen, very briefly, in terms of Rangers now, what does Philippe Clement take from this game? Are there any learnings when it comes to then plugging that back into the league? Obviously, the ground to make up on Celtic and Aberdeen as they take on St Johnstone at home at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the performance against Malmo last week, there was a lot in terms of the confidence, and you thought you were going to come back and everything would be rosy. The performance against Hibs was, a bit patchy, started okay, and in the second half, Hibs were, gave as good as they got. And then tonight, I mean, Lyon have ran totally over the top of Rangers. I've said it before. I don't think Rangers are really in control of a game of football and control the game at their tempo. It's either really slow or it's hectic. There's no in between. When you're looking for people just to be calm, put your foot in the ball and make passes, it doesn't seem to to happen. And then you're looking at it, when you do get it and you're giving away. I mean, the turnover of possession tonight for Rangers was really, really poor, and that's something they're going to have to build on. I mean, I expect them to go and take care of St Johnstone comfortably at the weekend, but it's a couple of weeks now. I think it's Bucharest that come to Ibrox, but I think that it's a big couple of weeks coming up for Rangers. Obviously, St Johnstone, then the international break, and they need to try and get themselves back into the league. But obviously, Europe tonight, it wasn't to be, as I said, absolutely thrashed from Lyon.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Chris.
Thank you, David. Good night.
Now, Brennan Johnson scored for the 5th match in a row as a youthful Tottenham side beat Ferencváros 2-1 in Hungary. Spurs have now won 5 games in a row in all competitions for the first time since March 2021. Ange Postecoglou started 4 teenagers: Mikey Moore, Will Lancashire, Lucas Bergfall and Archie Gray. But it was 2 of Spurs' senior players who scored the goals. Pat Matasar gave them the lead before Johnson came off the bench to score for the 5th straight game, as we mentioned. Barnabas Varga did pull one back late on for the Hungarian champions, but Tottenham held it on to make it 2 wins from 2.
With all these things, you've got to be really careful with young players. I certainly am. The first thing is that they're part of our first team squad, not because I want some young players. It's because they've earned that spot. And then it's about how to help them develop. And, the moments we need to put them in there, the moments we need to hold off. We can't discount the fact that, Archie's 18, Lucas is 18. I thought Archie was brilliant today. We asked him to play 2 different positions, and it's incredible how he just, adjusts and is able to bring his game to wherever we put him. Lucas worked hard. Will was unlucky a couple of moments. We could have got a goal. So, these guys are there because they've earned their spot, but they're an important part of our development because whilst we want to kind of be a team that has an impact this year, it's, like I said before, it's important we're developing players along the way so that whatever sort of period of potential for success or opportunity for success exists, it's elongated because of the young players you've got through. And I just think tonight all those boys will come through that and go, okay, that was tough, different, but we got through it and we won.
Now, Chelsea are huge favourites to win the Conference League, and they were comfortable winners over the Belgian side Gent. They won 4-2 at Stamford Bridge. Renato Vega scoring his first goal for the club 12 minutes in. Pedro Neto made it 2-0 less than a minute into the second half. Gent then pulled one back before Christopher Nkunku and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall pretty much sealed the win, although Gent did score a second late on. There was a big win for Hearts as they left it late to come from behind to beat Dynamo Minsk. It is Hearts' first win of the season at the 11th attempt. So they went behind early on. An own goal made it 1-1 though. In the 94th minute, Jan Danda won it with a header. The match played, by the way, inside an empty stadium in Azerbaijan, and this is because of Belarus's support for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And Dynamo Minsk, of course, are a Belarusian club. A League of Ireland side, Shamrock Rovers, snatched a fantastic point against Cypriot team Apoel. Shamrock had to play the last 40 minutes with 10 men, but Dylan Watts was the hero. He made it 1-1 with a header in the 92nd minute. Irish Premiership side Lana were beaten 3-0 by Norwegian side Molde. Lana, the first Northern Irish team to compete in a UEFA competition proper. They held their own in the game with a score 0-0 at half-time, but then 3 second-half goals for Molde see them run out. Comfortable winners. Lana also had Conor McKendry sent off in stoppage time. What about Welsh side, the New Saints? Well, they gave a great account of themselves against Fiorentina in their first match in the Conference League against all the odds. Goalless until the 65th minute, but goals from Yassin Adli and Moise Keane won it for Fiorentina.